This is a new bowl that I designed, and I thought I would show you a little bit more of the work that goes into it. And the only way to do that is to speed up some of the segments of the videos. So we'll give that a try and see how it goes. So we're going to have 3 rings: cherry, ambrosia maple, and sycamore, and a cherry base. This is a sled that I built to cut the angles on 15 degrees on both sides. And there are the 3 ring segments ready for the gluing operation. First, we'll sand each segment to make sure there are no burrs on them. Now we glue each of the segments together with Titebond 3 glue. Now we find a large hose clamp, clamp it good and tight, and leave it overnight. Okay, there are the glued segments ready to be sanded down and then glued together. Now we'll sand the rings down on a homemade drum sander that I'm going to be doing a video about a little bit later. Now we'll glue the base to the waste block to attach it to the lathe. And there's the first ring glued to the base, and we'll repeat the same thing for the next 2 rings. Okay, so there's everything glued together. Had to turn the head around 90 degrees because the diameter is too large to fit over the bed. We're going to have to turn it down a little bit, then we'll spin it back around the normal direction. Okay, we're mounted on the lathe, turned back around normal, and we didn't have a lot of room to spare, but let's start shaping a bowl. Okay, all the turning is done. Now we're going to start the sanding. And we'll start with 60 grit and go all the way up through 400 grit with the power sander. The sanding is done. Now we're going to apply a sanding sealer and let this dry for 24 hours before we go to the next step. I'm going to apply some of my homemade sanding paste to get a good smooth finish on it now. Now I'll use a clean paper towel to remove all the residue of the sanding paste. Last step, I'll apply some OB shine juice, which is a mixture of shellac, boiled linseed oil, and denatured alcohol.